Hi, Gav.
We are live.
Live.
How you doing today,
We
buddy?
have been just. I am doing good. It's kind of it's early.
It is early.
It is early.
Yeah, no, it is early. It's well, I mean, it's not. I'd be at work by now on a normal day. Well, I mean,
That's true.
on a
That's true.
weekday. So, um,
That's true. I don't mind these Saturday things either. That's actually been kind of nice too. That like I've been getting up earlier on a Saturday instead of like earlier on the week,
yeah,
because then that way like my day can get started. But yeah, dude, I was like I said last week, I am super excited to do this topic because I think after a year of doing um, this is probably going to be a lot of fun for both you and I, and a lot of our listeners out there. You guys get to see kind of the behind the scenes of what stuttering in silence is. So, Gav, you want to kickstart the whole reminiscing?
sure. Yeah. So basically just to kick us off, the point of what we're doing here today would be to just kind of go over how we started, you know. But yeah, so and like to make sure just to kind of I guess what would you say to outline a couple of areas that we made some mistakes, a couple of things we did wrong. um but yeah,
Oh
all
yeah.
right, so basically I a couple of years ago I had an idea to start an initiative to put together to bring together Earth's mightiest heroes. And um said not. Oh, that's not. Sorry. No,
No,
that's
no, that's
that's not
silly.
it.
That's actually
Right. That was the other
yeah,
day.
no.
That was the
No,
other
that's a
day.
Justice League, right? Right? Or like the Fantastic Four, or it's DC, right? Not Marvel. Can it be Marvel? I'm gonna get beat so bad.
All right. Anyway, so
I'm
yeah,
gonna get
so
roasted on YouTube.
yeah, it's gonna be terrible. So basically, um, yeah, I had an idea to start a podcast. I had seen a bunch of people doing it in the past, and I was like, you know what? I could do this. I want to talk about sports or about crazy stories. Like, I have crazy stories to talk about. Why not? Um, that was back in 2018. I couldn't really, that plan never came to fruition. I got a new job, had me working every day, all day. Couldn't really do it. Didn't have the money to either.
Yeah.
Um, fast forward 2 years, and what was it? Or 3 years. Um, and it's 2021. Matt and myself are both overweight, struggling with the daily a routine, I guess, and having some kind of, I guess we were having, what would you say, like a creative like disturbance. Like we were both kind of like we wanted to do something, but you
I mean,
know,
like an outlet. Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
we were talking, and like obviously it's like the trope nowadays where it's like, a couple guys sitting in a room having a funny conversation. Yo, dude, we
Yep.
should start a podcast. But for me, the way that it happened was it
Sorry.
was, yeah. Can you like not while I'm talking? Jeez,
I'm so sorry.
you
My
know.
throat was just
Yeah.
pause.
Well, so anyway, yeah, it was just funny because it was like, we were actually having a conversation. And I was like, you know what? We do have a lot of funny conversations, and we do talk every day. Like one of these has to
Yeah.
be interesting, unless we're just two incredibly boring individuals. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Um,
I remember that. Yes.
so but basically what happened was it was not only it was the inception of a podcast, but it was also the inception of like the rest of our lives. In a way, we had a conversation,
Yes.
and I said we should start a podcast. And what did you say?
I was like, we definitely should, without a doubt.
Yeah,
I was excited.
yeah, it was going to be fun. And then us being us, things kind of didn't come to fruition for another, what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before we like talked about it again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we started the whole gym thing. We got on that ground like immediately.
Yeah.
But, and ironically enough, if it wasn't for that conversation, I wouldn't now be a pro amateur, because I'll show you. I have my card now
Pro amateur.
from Strongman Corp. What?
Pro amateur.
Yes.
That It can't be a thing.
No, it is. So if you go on those of you who don't believe me, if you go to Strongman Corp, it says Pro Am.
No, but what I'm
So
saying,
it's like,
what I'm saying is just
yeah, regardless of getting off top, but yeah.
pro amateur. That's an oxymoron.
No, I understand.
Because
so
to
like
be
I
an
get
amateur
invited
is to do something that you're not being paid to do, but being a professional is doing something that you're being paid to do. So being a professional amateur is literally saying,
Can you see that? Can you see that?
well, can you stop moving it? Yeah, just said, yeah. Okay, that's your name.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh,
Anyway.
it doesn't matter.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, that conversation changed a lot of our lives because now you're in a really good job. Plus, you have all this time too, where you and I just got better, we got closer, we got our kind of our lives that we both were like able to like lean on each other.
Yep.
And I would say we've had a lot of success too, especially like 4 months ago as well with everything. And it's wild how that all started with a conversation in a car in Norristown, Pennsylvania, in front of your house, 712 North Ridge Drive.
Okay, just put my address out there. Thanks for that.
It's fine. We can always cut that out.
Yeah.
You can just bleep me.
Yeah, we could. We won't though. Pull up. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was funny because it was like we were both kind of. It was one of those things where like you have like a resolution, or it's like you're like, oh, this is happening like at 2 a.m. I know for a lot of guys out there, guys especially, you have those like 1 a.m. sessions, 2 a.m. where you're like, I'm fat, I'm overweight, I need to go do some push-ups. You do some push-ups really quick, or you're like start clean your room, or doing whatever, and you're like, this is going to be how I live the rest of my life, and then you do it for like a day, and then you go back to normal.
Yep.
We're all guilty of it. But no, this was something that we actually stuck with. So basically what happened was we came together and we sat down we did it at your house. We sat down and we were going over everything. And I said, the mistake that I had made before was I didn't set everything up so that I didn't have a plan. Like it was just like me trying to do it on the fly. And I wanted to create a solid plan because if we're going to really do, like I wanted to really do it. So if we're going to really do it, we have to be consistent, have to have really work on it. So we sat down for what was like 4 hours that day, going over what to talk about, how long each episode was going to be, when to upload, when to record, and then what equipment to go ahead and buy. So we knew, I knew I didn't want to do a daily podcast because there was just no time. But we totally could, just quit your job and I'll quit mine. No.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down. I'm 1,000% down. Everyone on YouTube can see you, right? Spotify. Oh, yeah. So gotcha. Yeah, no, we sat down for like 4 hours that day. That was at the apartment. And it would, for me, that was so cool because I know we talked about it, and at that time, that trope, that meme, so to call it, was two guys talking about doing a podcast. Everyone's going to do it, but we were actually doing it.
Yeah.
And we were figuring out when we were going to do it. We had, I think I still have the original notes actually. I do. I have them right here. And it was wild. We built an email. We were doing a bunch of stuff. And then that's when the fun started happening. It was when we realized that we had enough to go on, and we actually got our equipment. That was cool.
I'll shout out Rockville and Amazon, together, because we spent $300 combined on microphones. We got 2 mics. Two like all the cables, all the mix amp, right?
Yep.
We got the headsets. We got the arm stands. Well, I guess that came later, but yeah. Also, we got like all the equipment, like the base equipment that we're gonna need, like stands for it, like the little ones we had. All the equipment that we needed for $300. Like it's $300. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't beat it. So then when we started, we spent what we didn't spend in money, we spent in time. Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Yeah, no. Do you remember? Okay, so basically, we knew that coming out into the, what we knew was coming out into the fold of Spotify, YouTube, all these different podcasts. What's going to make us unique? What's going to set us apart, right? Oh my lord.
Yeah, dude, these are some long days.
I mean, we're talking like
guys, I'm not
9.
joking with you. Yeah, 9-10 hours of just in a remodeled room that we did for the podcast, and
It
then
wasn't even a remodel yet.
oh yeah, you're right. I didn't come in and paint it yet and do all that stuff.
It was yeah, and then we set up. We had a table with a bed sheet over it, and
Over a pong table
over
that we
a
made.
pong table that we made, and and we just we just did the dang thing. But no, I mean, for what it was, I mean, you can't really beat it,
No, for two dudes that are actually going after it.
Yeah, two dudes just trying to make it on the scene a little bit, and we had like no money, and I was broke. You were broke. We were just.
All right, man. I have to drive today. I gotta make at least $110 because we're gonna make the purchase in 2 days, and then like the purchase is in 2 days. But I gotta make sure that I'm still working, being able to work on the pod.
Matt, I totally forgot
So,
I
like-
had to pay my car insurance. I'm not gonna have the money. Yeah,
Dude, it was fun though, because like I remember when I pressed the button to purchase them. Well, I mean, you've been with me and all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
yeah.
But like I remember when that happened, the hype on both of our faces was so cool because it's like you and I at that point were so close. I mean, not that we aren't now, but that we don't talk every single day. But it was just cool because that was the real thing. It's like, okay, we talked about this, we did a decent amount of planning, and now we can do the easy part, which I didn't think that was the easy part,
was the recording?
was to record. So I knew it was going to be an easier aspect of it, but I didn't realize how much goes into just doing a podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
And-
didn't either. Well, you
Yeah,
remember
that
how our
was-
first
that
episode
was-
went?
Yes.
Our first episode was rough. Our first episode, I was sweating, and I'm like, we weren't even on camera yet. I'm like wet, like my shirt is just damp, and the room is so hot. We were in no air in flow,
No
like
air.
nothing coming in, and I'm just sitting there. We're talking about like who are we talking about? Like
I think the first episode was sports.
but I don't remember what we talked. It was like something. I think we talked about, what was her name? Like Alicia Lamb.
Oh,
Or-
no, so the first episode detailing, this is on October 6th of 2021. It was titled Sports News, The Beginning.
The beginning, baby.
This episode will be detailing the accounts of women's powerlifting and the MLB postseason race heating up and the NFL Week 3 review.
Wow, week 3 of last season. Holy.
Wow.
Wowzers. Wentz was still our quarterback.
Yeah, the girl you're thinking of is Tamara Walcott. That's she just.
Oh no,
broke
Wentz wasn't our
that-
quarterback.
No.
So yeah, Tamara Walcott was she broke the record for bench press that we talked about, right?
Deadlift.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew that.
All good. But yeah, I know that MLB postseason was heating up for you, and we were talking about that, and that was even before I was even a little bit more into sports.
You had no idea what we were talking about.
I had no idea, guys.
You
I
were
was such
lost.
a moron. Because
It was
there were
funny,
times I
though.
was like, dude, I feel like I'm just. Well, yeah, but for me, I'm like, I want to be a part of this because, like, and then I remember I would used to do so much research on the games and try to get back to like, because I used to play sports all in high school. You knew that, and at this point, I was just so removed from sports
Yeah.
that everything was just kind of translating over. And then now severely addicted. Well, not severely addicted, but like
Well,
addicted.
I guess I just hung around people that were just into sports like my whole life. I guess like I
Yeah.
didn't really think about it. But what was funny was, we would try to have a conversation, and I'm like, "Yo, this crazy play just happened." And I mean, like, normally, even if I'm talking to somebody that doesn't really follow sports, they'll at least be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw something about that on Twitter. I saw something about that on Instagram. Or oh yeah." Nothing. You couldn't give me nothing. Like not a single thing could you give to me. Like if I was like, who do you think is better? Brian Dawkins or Troy Polamalu? If you follow sports, you know exactly who those two guys are. And you just looked
Yeah.
at me and were like, well, they're pretty good NASCAR drivers. I'm like, oh,
Well, pretty good. They made a lot of left turns.
Yeah,
you know what
like-
I'm saying?
like all right, well, but no, it was cool because
Well, I feel like I could have answered that, but like,
no, you couldn't have.
yeah,
You didn't know who
but
you didn't know who Peyton Manning was. How the fuck are you gonna know who Troy?
yes,
Polamalu
I know who Troy Polamalu is.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, no,
Oh no,
see,
you,
like,
you
he was
definitely
always
knew who
just-
Tony Romo was.
who?
Tony Romo, shout out to that jersey in your closet. That's like 75
jersey?
sizes too small.
No, what jersey? I'm confused.
The Cowboys
There's-
jersey that's in
there's
your
no-
closet.
There's no what Cowboys jersey?
There's a Cowboys jersey that's in your closet. We're not going to get into it. We'll get
Oh.
into it later. It's hanging
Yeah,
right
well,
next to
well,
your
well,
Steelers one. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just put the pictures up right as in the post edit. So
Yikes.
basically,
Wait, pictures. Oh God. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't.
basically, yeah, obviously it was cool from my end because it was like I got a chance to talk about stuff I wanted to talk about, like sports, comic books, whatever, superheroes, because I'm a nerd, but whatever. And it was also cool because I didn't realize that you didn't know sports that much, so I wasn't like teaching you sports, but I was definitely like paving the way for you to like get more active with learning sports. And that was cool for me because it was
Yeah.
like,
And
it
you were
was-
really patient with me too, which I appreciated.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've been there. Like,
Oh.
you don't know a topic, or you don't know like, because whatever it is, like, I've been there. But it was just
Yeah.
funny because it was like you would come in like every week. You would come in and be like, dude, did you see? It was like you were like Internet Explorer. It's like I would see a play happen on Sunday, and then on like Thursday, you'd be like, dude, did you see this crazy play?
Uh huh.
And I'm like, but you get
Well,
like,
'cause, like-
you would get
well, 'cause
like the name of the team wrong. You'd be like, yo, Odell Beckham Jr. just caught that ball for the Patriots as they beat the Chargers. I'm like, buddy,
See,
he doesn't.
It's funny because it's like, yeah, I know. Because the thing is now, as I hear that, and I'm like, oh my God, that's kind of how I sounded, or exactly how I sounded. But in my head, I'm like, he doesn't play for like old me a year ago would have been like, Matt, you're dumb. Because I do pride myself on picking things up quickly. But the thing is, when I have someone like you who's patient with me, who we're talking about all the time, and we're doing like a sports topic, like I'll pick it up quicker.
Yeah.
That's really embarrassing. Guys, this is all fake. This never really actually happened. It happened every week.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it was just more so fun. It was just funny. I was like, all right. But anyway, yeah. So we started off doing that, and the breakdown. Well, what was our breakdown that we said? It was.
So I believe
was
it when
sports. Wait, didn't we
on
do it
Monday.
Yeah, didn't we try to do it like 3 times a week?
Yes. Yeah, so that's what I wrote down here. So we were doing almost 2 or 3 podcasts a week.
Yeah.
We were doing like sports on Monday, a Tuesday or Wednesday was like a movie or TV show, and then like a conspiracy theory or some kind of recent event. So you can see that in the first 3 if you guys do look back. That's how the first 3 went.
Right.
And then we tried to do that for a while, couldn't maintain it. And then that's when we started, maybe like 4 to 6 months was when we switched to like doing like 1 a month or one a week.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. I remember that now because I do remember it would be like Monday after the gym or something. It'd be like, oh, we're gonna do sports today, and then like the next day, it'd be like, we're doing. I remember that now. I totally forgot that we did that. Like completely blocked that out of my mind. But yeah, we've only been doing this for a year, so after like isn't that like, it's kind of nuts to me, like when you think about like that's where we came from.
Mhm.
With with having like we were doing like a couple a day, and I mean a couple of them were better than others for sure.
I think we should redo the gentleman one. I think
Yeah,
we should go back and do that justice.
yeah, we should. That was kind of rough on our part, but what I think we could actually, what's really really cool, and I mean, how many times have I said this, but I think that one of the coolest things for me is being able to see our growth in quality, like sound quality, video quality.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
we started it, and obviously my quality of video isn't perfect right now, but
So I'm still using my laptop camera. So
yeah. What was I saying? Oh, and you could see like each week it was like the thumbnails got a little bit better, our logo got a little bit better.
yeah, dude, you were the goat for that. Dude. You were making those things, and I was like, God, fucking damn, dude. You were really really good at those.
Well, the thing about it was like, I appreciate it, but the thing about it was like, so I always like to I always like to draw and color and stuff, and was never good at it. Like never good at it. So what I found was the more that we were making these thumbnails and stuff, the more I was like getting better with it, and it was like something where I was like, oh, maybe I'll learn, and I'll and I started going down YouTube rabbit holes on how to make cool thumbnails, how to take a simple picture or a simple whatever, turn it into something cool, and then I kind of expanded upon it from there. And
Yeah.
but back then it was like I knew nothing about what I was doing. I was just like, well, you remember, I think this would look cool. Hey, what would be a cool idea if we took this thing and did this, and then
Yep.
it worked or it didn't.
Remember, because you know how you and I use Canva now, and I would say, I mean, you're better than I am at Canva, but we are pretty fluent in Canva.
Yeah.
But when we started, we didn't know what the fudge we were doing, bro. We had Ryan, my little brother, come in.
Yep.
And
oh my god, with the MS Paint
remember that,
or
man?
Adobe or whatever that was.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Yes.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Shout out Springport for helping us start this podcast, by the way, for that thing my little brother used. But yeah, like it was wild because we really didn't know how to do really anything. And then when we started doing like video, I was using like iMovie.
Yeah.
And that was, I remember I was so not in the loop, just didn't know what was going on, that when I rendered the first video, I didn't understand why it didn't instantly go on my desktop. Like, why am I looking at this? So I would stop the download, restart it, stop it. And I didn't realize it has to process the video.
Yeah. I was really confused because I was like, what do you mean it's not that? What do you mean it's not working? I don't know, dude. It's just not working. I'm like, what's not working? It's just not going down. It's not downloading. I'm like, all right, let me see this. And then I'd watch it, and then I was no better because like I watched it, and then I'm like, oh my god, you're right.
Like, and then I clicked a small little circle at the top, and it goes processing download. I'm like, oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
It's just wild to think that like we spent, dude. I'm not joking. We probably have put in 200 man hours. Just.
Oh yeah. I mean, we
More?
spent so. Let me think. So from the first episode, I would say from October 2021 till about I guess what, like May of 2022.
Yeah, fair.
We were doing probably 15 hours a week minimum. Like on this, I mean, when we first started, we were.
And that doesn't include a lot of our big days either.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
So there was a couple days where we sat in that room and we went through like, what music should we use, what logo. You remember the music grind?
Guys, we spent probably a week. Is that fair?
Yeah. About a week.
maybe a week, maybe a little less, on finding the right music. And I mean, Gavin laying on the floor. I'm just like hunched over the table. Then we like switched at some point, and like we've been here for hours, and we finally found one, which is the one that you guys are listening to now. And we're like, that's it. But it took us like
because
9 websites.
We were trying to we would be like, all right, literally we were sitting there like, oh yeah, we need good music. Free music for podcasts in Google. Yes. Every website that we got taken to was like free 2-day trial, free trial, and we're like, dude, everything was stuck behind a paywall. And I remember I was like, dude, I'm broke right now. You're broke.
I was the same way.
I'm like, I'm not paying $15.99 for one song. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we were really struggling on finding something that would work. And then I remember how it happened. We found this website, and Matt was like, I found it. Let's just go through the songs. And we're going song after song after song and nothing is hit. Like, it's all like lo-fi, but like not good lo-fi, and like weird hip hop trap beats. And then finally, I'm like, you know what, dude? We've been here for like 7 hours. I laid on the floor, and I'm just like sprawled out, like in like a wife beater, and I'm just laying there. And then, a ribbed T-shirt. Sorry. And I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, just hear the click of the keyboard, and I hear, and I just like sat up. I'm like, wait. To play that again. And you're like, yep. All right. And then here we are. But I mean, it's funny because when I'm not gonna lie to you, if I had just done a solo podcast like back in the day, I never would have wanted to do it again, because I like you and like your editing and like the editing side of things I would have hated, because like it was like you were killing it from the editing side of things. And I was like, thank God, because like I wasn't good at it. And now, funnily enough, I edit as well, and stuff like that. But like, it was just,
it's wild, dude. I didn't, and like, just with like all the artistic stuff and like the ideas and things like that, like I'm not great with. So like it had helped me a lot. Plus, it's just cool because it's like it was one of those things where I think you and I kept each other honest about a lot of stuff. So it's like, we talked about doing this. Me or you would be more so you a lot of the time, because I was just getting busy. But, hey, we talked about this. Let's do this. Let's start it. And then we just kept going and it was like it became, I think, fun for you and I. And then it was just cool. And I think it was nice to like actually do something, not just become the trope of, hey guys, let's start a podcast.
Yeah. Oh, hey man. So
and then call ourselves the alphas.
Hey man, when you go to the club, you do be flexing on these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, let me ask you this. Fuck, marry, kill, really quick. Margot Robbie. Holly Berry.
Smash.
Andrew Tate. Like, dude, I don't know. I think it was also really cool because when we started this, do you remember what we said? We were editing like the first podcast. We were like going through everything, and we started cracking up because we were both like, nobody's gonna listen to this. Like we were cracking up because we were like spending all this time and like effort and money and we were doing it solely for the fun of it. Like we were laughing because we thought nobody was going to pay attention, nobody's going to listen to it. Who's going to listen to us? We were literally two big gentlemen stuttering
in silence,
on a podcast. Talking about nothing, but no, it was fun, and it was just funny because I remember we were cracking up about it. We're like, nobody's gonna listen to this, and then I think that not only seeing that we had listeners and viewers, but the rate at which we got them, I think kept us motivated
Yes.
to keep making them.
That was awesome.
Because like if you're doing it for fun and nobody's paying attention, you're gonna have those days where you're like, I don't feel like doing it today or whatever.
Yeah.
But because we saw all those fans, like not all those, but I'm saying like we had some fans, we had
I know what you mean.
some people listening consistently. Not only from this state but other states, and not only from this country but other countries.
Yeah, dude. That was wild to me when I went and checked the RSS feed. I'm like, we're in Germany, India,
yeah, Ireland.
there's one in Australia. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it was wild. I didn't know that was a possibility. So it was cool. It kept us motivated. And I mean, ever since we came back for season 2, I think that break was really needed. Do you kind of want to break down what happened in the break a little bit?
What do you mean? Like break down the?
All right. So like,
sorry, I know we went on a break. We definitely had a lot of content fatigue, and
Yeah.
I think like we did it so much. We spent so much time on this podcast. Then we're doing a week, and then I think you were in the kitchen before you have your good job at Key Bank now.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was just like I couldn't get scheduled in with you. You couldn't get scheduled with me, and we were just like we were just beat. We were trying to like figure everything out, and then we're like, all right, let's hunker down. Let's figure out season 2. Let's get this going.
Yeah, I remember. So basically, it was like your car broke down. Remember? And
right.
And then you started working at Creekside.
Yes.
And then literally, it became to the point where it was like you would work Monday, I'd work Tuesday. You'd work Wednesday, I'd work Thursday. Like it was back and forth and back and forth. And
that was rough.
Yeah, and it was getting really hard to, and we brought on Ben.
Yeah,
but he he's moving around the country. He's doing he's living his life.
Nantucket right now too.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
I do want to get some more faces back on. I think that was a pretty good time. But it was getting hard because it was like, okay, we're supposed to record on Thursday. We wake up or we get up, we're doing our thing, and it's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, like I gotta work. And then it was like, just the consistent cycle of like doing the same thing, but now it's harder because I'm now exhausted because I just got home at 2:00 in the morning after working all night, and then getting right back up to do this pod where we didn't have time to study what we're talking about or whatever, and it was just like slowly the love of it was kind of going down or like going to the back burner, and it was more so we were like hanging up on the frustrations and like the stupid parts. You remember, like it was like before, if we can figure out an audio thing, we'd work on it for 10 hours, and then we're like, all right, well, we'll just try it again tomorrow. But then it was like we literally what would we if it's like we can't figure out how to put video on correctly. All right, well, let's go get some tacos then. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we were just kind of like we were just done with it. So it was a nice break. It gave us the summer to really figure out what we were going to do. And in that time,
regroup, get our lives together.
Yeah, I mean, and in that time, as you said, I found a different job, working at a bank. You are steadily climbing the ranks within the kitchen. Better than I was. So, and
thank you.
And now we're here. So I think this is going to be forever. This is just going to be an ever changing, ever evolving thing. And I don't want to say like every week you're going to see a new streaming soft system or a new, we're going to be in a different environment with this, that, and a third. But we were just trying different things out to see what's going to work. But no, I think from the very beginning up until even the end of, because I mean the start of season 2, I don't know about you, but I had that excitement again. That like,
yeah, I definitely did.
You know what I mean?
I was really hyped, especially. Sorry, I know you guys don't know this, but Gavin again created that logo, which arguably I'm more excited about that one. I don't know if it's like a new thing, maybe that's why, but I think it's a lot cooler because it's simple. It's nice. It's perfect. It describes you and I very well. It's setting a sound. It's the whole thing. And I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Right.
That is a cool thing. So I think when I saw that, I think that's when I was even more excited than redoing season 2. That was cool.
I knew that I was definitely excited about it because it was one of those things where it was like we had like I said, I can feel the love for it going away, and like I could feel us not wanting to do it anymore. And then we took that break, we came back, and was the first time we sat down and talked about it again. We were both like, "Oh my god, let's do this idea. Let's do this idea."
Mm-hmm.
We were like jumping around with it again. So, it was nice to. It was a nice feeling. And it's nice to be able to get on and it's also cool because we're actually better with it now, so we can say, let's edit this video really, really quick, or let's do this really quick, see how this sounds. Yep. Let's change this, do this.
Remember how many hours it used to take us to
do a simple thing. Let's move the logo to this, or let's do this, or let's take this sound and make it a little less, like take down the volume to put in this sound. Okay, 4 hours go by. So we're saying, hi guys, well, this is Jonathan from Rockville. This is how to get your mic. You remember, like, it would just be every day. We're just slumped down in the chairs, and it's just like, we're like, why won't this microphone pick up? Hey guys, this is Johnny Johnson.
What's funny is from Rockville, dude. I told you a little bit ago. I'll actually put it on YouTube and like on our Instagram, and I found I think I did tell you this, but I found the old videos of us. Because that's what you do, but like me, like I'm not the most techie person at all. And Kevin and Ben were there, and we're trying to figure out how to put the video on a really shitty camera.
I remember that.
And it's just it's me just like with a coffee cup and and then it's just like, oh my god, it was so rough. And like to us, that was like revolutionary.
Well, yeah.
But like now it's like,
because we were busting our asses every day, and it was like Kevin was trying to figure out. He's like, okay, so all you guys got to do is this, but then it didn't work, and then we're like, oh no, why is this not working? Why is But no, I think when you do anything that you really love, stuff's bound to go wrong, and then it's just a matter of how you change with it, like could you imagine like what was it, like our third episode or whatever, where we like ran into them, it was like the audio got corrupted or something, and then we had to like we were trying to upload it, but then it wouldn't upload, or like the internet was going out, and then like the logo wasn't coming out, or like the thumbnail wasn't working. I remember
yeah,
it was just like one thing after the next.
I think the audio got corrupted, so we couldn't upload it. But then what happened was the picture for the thumbnail had to be like it was like 14,000 pixels by 14,000 pixels, or
it was like 1440. It was like 1460 by whatever, and it had to be.
And we couldn't figure out how to change it. Yeah, and now I just open the picture and I go to the thing on top of my desktop, and it takes a second. Yeah. But we just couldn't figure it out. I don't know what it was. We just couldn't figure it out. And I was like, what is going on?
Dude, it was rough.
But
yeah, no, I'm excited to see where this is going to go, in the future and everything. But just looking back, just taking a little trip down memory lane, it was just pretty ridiculous. Like, we cannot express enough, like two guys sitting in a hot ass room. Sitting there taking taking random objects, or taking putting them together to make a desk, or make this will be cool for this. Let's do this. Finding a $5 desk on Amazon or on Facebook Marketplace. Yep. It was just like one thing after the next that we were working on, and so we really did have no idea what we were doing when we went into this. And we really kind of built something from the ground up. I mean, who knows where we're going to be at? Who knows where we're going to be at next year? To come this time. So, but as far as that concerned, like that's pretty much all I needed to say about it.
Same thing here, my friend.
All right. Well, in that case, then I guess this is where you and I split ways.
2 a year.
2 a year, buddy.
2 a year.
Boop.
There's something actually in that cup.
Oh. I had like a quarter sip left of coffee. So anyway, all right. Well, I will catch you, my friend, later on. And yeah, I want you to know that I'll be dreaming about you. What?